All right, good morning, everybody. Uh, so let's do a show, guys. We're just gonna make fun of Kamala Harris today. It should be fun, right? Let's go. All right. Okay. I might have to. No, that's good. You can see my face. There's the microphone. I think we're looking pretty good. Okay. Everything's moving in the right direction. So, uh, basically, Kamala Harris had a rally in Atlanta, and boy, it sure did look like she had a great big old crowd. That's what I see. So, yeah, thousands and thousands of people showed up to see Kamala Harris. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's it. They didn't give a shit about Kamala. They showed up for Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so basically a bunch of people showed up for... Oh my God. I'm shocked. So what happened was Kamala, America's first black female vice president, went to, get this, Atlanta, Georgia, offered free shit, and her voters showed up. It's the chicken on the bus all over again, guys. Megan Thee Stallion is the new Democrats' bucket of fried chicken. Hey, we need to get their asses on the bus. Let's swing on by KFC and get us a bucket of watermelon. Now, some of you who don't live around here, who haven't watched this show before, who have never met a Democrat, might not know this. But the thing that I just said about let's swing through KFC, get us a bucket and a watermelon, get them asses on the bus. Y'all, this is not a racist caricature. This is literally a voting tactic in Georgia. The fact is, the Democrat cheats at every chance they get. And when we say cheat, let's be fair. Let's be fair. They don't play fair. There are a lot of ways that you can cheat. And when we say cheat, let's be fair. Many of the things that the Democrats do are not illegal, largely because they're the things that Democrats do to get themselves elected, and then they pass laws or repeal laws to make the elections less secure, to make the voting process less valuable. Kamala Harris is a great example of the ways that they cheat. So for any of you who just happen to be Democrats and accidentally stumbled onto this show, I want you to go back to 2016 in your head for a minute. Remember, Bernie was the popular choice. The Democrat voters wanted Bernie. But the Democrat Party said, no. In fact, we have the emails. They said no because he's a Jew, which was really weird at the time because the head of the DNC at the time, what was her name? Last name, I think her last name was Schultz. I can't remember her name now, but like very clearly Jewish. And she was one of the ones that said, hey, can we attack the Jew angle to get rid of Bernie? But the point, you go back to 2016, Bernie was the clear favorite for the Democrat nominee. And the party said, nah, no. Barry Rydell says Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's it. Thank you, Barry. I knew it was one of those hyphenated last name, some of that super lefty bullshit. Thank you. Sergeant Major, you were a little slow on the draw there this morning, but that's okay. I know you're tired after all that driving. Speaking of tired after all that driving, I see Tim Lowry, I see Sergeant Major Lowry. I don't see the squishy squid Lowry in there. Where's Uncle Steve at? Anyway, he must still be tired from all that driving. Oh, I know what it is. He's on that bicycle trying to recharge his Tesla. So, the fact of the matter is this. They showed up. This is one of the ways they cheat. Just like they stole it, they decided in 2016 that no, you can't have Bernie, no matter how bad you want him. And then in 2020, they did it to him again. No, you can't have Bernie, no matter how bad you want him. And somehow Kamala was so unpopular. There were a couple other candidates. In 2020 was super crooked, like way before we got to the general election. It was clear that they decided you will have Biden. You don't get to choose. Biden will be the nominee, right? And now here we are. It's 2024, and it's funny. They kept telling us Biden is sharp as a tack. He's on it behind you. He looks old in front of the camera because the Republicans are assholes and they're dishonest. And they're using these cheap fakes to make Biden look like he's old and decrepit and like his mind is fake. And then he did the debate. Now, before that, the DNC managed to con their voters, theoretically, into nominating Joe Biden for the presidency. So he was the presumptive nominee going into that debate. And they did that by hook or by crook, by kicking RFK off the ballot and just saying, you know what, we don't want you in the party. So now he's an independent. And there have been a lot of behind the scenes bullshit tricks to pull that off. But then the second Joe came out and shit in his diaper on stage and basically just literally died. I mean, the man just stopped breathing in that debate. As soon as that debate was over, he had failed so miserably that the Democrats realize this man cannot win an election. So we don't care what the voters want, or even what we told the voters that they had to say they want. We have decided it's Kamala. Kamala Harris is about to be running for the general election, having never, ever received a single vote to be the Democrat Party nominee. The Democrat Party has completely vitiated the democratic process. But speaking of the democratic process, let's talk about this a little more. Let's talk about this a little more. Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Thee Stallion, is one of those rapper. Okay, let's be frank. Female rappers, and I'm not talking about all musicians, and I'm specifically female rappers and female comedians. Unless your female comedian is basically a professional stand-up trad wife, right? Or explicitly doing like dry bar Christian comedy. You've got they're basically just cookie cutter vulgarity. The extent, right? I mean, we had Jeannie Roberts was great, but she wasn't a comedian. She was a humorist. Modern female comedians, all their jokes are about promiscuity, genitalia, and men being stupid, useless assholes. Female rappers are essentially the same, plus a constant appeal to far left politics, abortion, and prostitution. They're basically, they rap about being nasty, baby murdering whores. That's their common thread. That's their primary through line. We want to engage in substantial promiscuity and kill the babies that are a result of that immoral lifestyle. And sexualize your daughters, and we want to turn your children into whores, those that survive. But here's the real issue. I have it on good authority, and I hope you're watching because I haven't seen you make any comments. But I have it on good authority from a couple of people whom I know that work around the Capitol. Right. I've had it from more than one source, so no, it's not just you. Whichever one of you thinks that you're about to get outed, it's not just you. I promise. There's more than one. But basically, what happened is Megan Thee Stallion came out, she did her show, and then everybody left, or the majority of them left. So the whole point to having the celebrity come out and do the free concert. Right? Democrats know this. This is tried, true, time-tested, too easy. If you fry the chicken, they will come. If you bring out the free shit, and let me, it ain't even got to be about the racism. This is not an entirely black audience. There's a white dude, old white dude. Okay. It's a largely black audience. That's Atlanta. But we got, there's some white dudes for Kamala over there. Looking low T and chunky. Good for them. But yeah, if you fry it, they will come. That is true of the Democrat voter. And we've talked about this on the show before. The traditional wisdom in the divide between the parties is as such. The Republican is the party of the rich old white guy, right? The Republican is the party of the wealthy. And the Democrat is the party of the poor. The Democrat is the party that works to help the little guy. Okay. So if it is in the interest of the Republicans, if it is in the interest of the wealthy for Republicans to be in power, then it is in the interest of Republicans for there to be more wealthy people in whose interest the Republican power is. Now, the fact is, right, that's the dichotomous conventional wisdom on the subject, is that the Republicans the party of the rich and the Democrats the party of the poor. Now, the fact is, the Democrats are very much the party of the wealthy now, right? The Democrats are absolutely the ones that are getting, they're getting all the Hollywood money, they're getting all the support from the actors, and they're losing support. Surprisingly, they're losing support in Silicon Valley. But anywhere that you have big money, with the exception of essentially Elon Musk, who is a large part of the reason that Silicon Valley is starting to turn on him, the money is going to the Democrats. Your George Soros money, right? Your Zuckerbucks, right? Your Jeff Bezos, your what's his face at Microsoft, Bill Gates, right? That's all Democrat funding now, and it has been for a very long time. But on that idea of the conventional wisdom of the poor being the ones who benefit from a Democrat administration, the Democrats, they work to maintain that idea, right? In fact, they do it like this.
Just win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
We're going to do it again in 2024. Yeah, she's never used that accent before. That's not Kamala Harris's normal speaking voice. She's putting it on. She's code switching, right? She's a dog king. She's insulting you. And you're too stupid to understand it, standing in that audience. She's insulting you. She's making fun of your accent, and she's conning you. Because as long as they can maintain the facade that the Democrat is interested in helping the poor, then and the poor vote for them because they maintain that idea, then it's in the interest of the Democrat for there to be more poor people. It is in their interest for more people to be poor. And you don't have to take my word for it off of the clear, logical argument that I've made here. Just look at the facts. Following his inauguration, Joe Biden took explicit and specific policy positions, which not only was it the case that at the time, those of us who were critical of his administration said these specific policy maneuvers, canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, funding the German pipeline, shutting down oil leases across the United States, repealing or reversing the Trump tax breaks on the middle class. I can go on. There's several other items. We pointed at them and we didn't just say this is bad. Oh, I like oil, so it's bad. It was no specific. If this money is moved from this allocation, it will have this result. And the result we predicted was World War III. Specifically, that it would erupt as a result of Volodymyr Zelensky playing the two sides of the fence nonsense with the UN. I'm sorry, with NATO. Yes. And that basically exacerbating tensions between him and Russia at a time when Donald Trump is not in the White House to deter Vladimir Putin from taking hasty action. you'll notice that Donald Trump is the only president in living memory, or I'm sorry, not in living memory. And that's not fair. Some of you are old as shit. In fact, I'm old enough, sort of, to remember a time before Putin was in power in Russia. But Donald Trump is the only president who has served in the U.S. since Putin's rise to power in Russia, under whom Putin has not invaded another country to expand the Russian territory. Right? Putin has been working since he took office in the 90s, essentially to reassemble the USSR, like a big fucking communist Voltron. But not while the Donald was in. So let me get back to the Megan Thee Stallion thing. It is interesting to note that obviously what's happened here, and this is going to be their move going forward. They're going to have a free concert with a big celebrity, and the celebrity's going to draw a big crowd, and then most of the crowd's going to leave. But they're going to get those photo ops where they've got the big crowd, so that they can show the pictures and say, look, we get as much draw as Donald Trump. So it's very smart for Trump to be coming and doing the same venue here. And it's going to be hilarious when the ticket comparisons come out. And what we see is not Trump outdrew Kamala. What we're going to see is Trump outdrew Megan Thee Stallion. And that when that happens, when we see those numbers, it's going to be important that we remind everybody all the time, constantly, of that the celebrities that are planning on doing the free concerts for Kamala, they need to be reminded, hey, you're going out there to compete with Donald Trump, and he will fucking murder you on the box office. He will absolutely destroy you on ticket sales. You cannot keep up. You do not have the draw. You are not on the same level as the Donald. You've never saved the world. You've never dodged a bullet for the country. You're just not on that level. I don't care. I don't care who you are. And there's something going on in the negotiations currently going to allow Iran conducted measured retaliation against Israel without U.S. Oh, yeah, that. We will see how that develops. I need a lot more information before I'm ready to do a show on the Iran thing. So these are my final. Here's my final thoughts on the matter. And yeah, if I'm honest, I probably should have led with this a little more. Megan Thee Stallion, and this is the other thing, right? Okay, so they can't compete with Trump. He's gonna murder him at the box office, absolutely. But here's the other thing they need to understand: Donald Trump is the candidate. He can go out on the stage, he can do a rally, right? He can have the big draw. What Megan Thee Stallion is doing is criminal. She committed a crime at that Harris rally. And this is important. She committed the crime for which Donald Trump was falsely convicted. She committed an illegal election contribution. What she did by showing up on that stage and giving a free concert, that is an in-kind contribution. Unless she was paid an amount equal to her average concert take, right? If she makes $1 million a show, if she was not paid $1 million to do that rally, if she wasn't paid a commensurate salary, a commensurate wage to perform at that rally, then what she has done is an illegal in-kind contribution, which dramatically exceeds the maximum donation allowed by the Federal Elections Commission to an individual candidate. In fact, she blew through it. Waller says she makes approximately $2.5 million per show. So she wasn't paid about $2.5 million. And hey, maybe she was. Apparently Kamala's just pissing money. Because everybody coalesced behind her, obviously. Or something. But yeah. It's a cheap trick. It's their favorite kind of trick. It's a cheap trick. She's just the new bucket of fried chicken. And what she did is quite illegal. It really is that simple. And this is something that needs to be hammered on. I want you guys get on your Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you can make comments, anywhere you see this, bring that shit up. Hey, this is an in-kind contribution. Unless she was paid to do the show, this is an in-kind political contribution, and she needs to be prosecuted for that. Kamala needs to be prosecuted for taking the contribution. And Megan Thee Stallion and every other performer who performs like this, if they're not getting paid, it's an in-kind contribution. Too easy. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it there. Thanks for watching this morning, guys. Tomorrow is Firearms Friday, and I look forward to seeing you all then. We love you. Y'all be safe, and we will see you tomorrow.